Good afternoon. And I'm saying that to myself because this is a brand new Twitch channel that I'll be streaming my future King Under the Mountain game development from. So, nobody's watching right now. I'm just talking to anybody watching the VOD. So let me put some notifications out there that this is going on now. Okay, that should do. Right. So today I'm going to be working on adding weather to the game. The last stream was about fire, but I think I'm done with that now. So we're looking at weather systems, which should be quite good for the gameplay. And first of those is rain that I'm looking at adding. So let's start. Well, I already have a rain effect, might as well get it on the screen. So there's no audio for the rain just yet, that's the river that you can hear. It's not falling here because I built a roof there. Well, it's supposed to be rain, but I am working on this. Snow's coming soon. I mean, snow is the thing I'll be doing next after this. Homasep, you are the first follower. Thank you for following. Apologies I don't have proper follow notifications yet. At least something. And we're straight into having bots in here. Fantastic. And Kansas, thank you for following. So yeah, this is supposed to be about rain. I need to figure out how to moderate the channel, but I'll get around to that at some point. So I have this effect, and that's it right now. So this is using a particle effect rather than a shader. I thought I'd do it with a shader, but this is actually lots and lots and lots of particles. Yeah, maybe it should be like straight lines. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So it's a particle effect using the libgdx particle editor like this. So I could just change the sprite that we're using there. So yeah, let's do that. Because yeah, it's very much a first pass right now, and I'm not totally happy with it, but something to work on. So I've got this directory here. That's all the sprites used in the particle effects. And it's using that one right now. So let's just make a thinner one, I think. A bit longer. Okay, so we got a very basic shape. Just gonna stretch it out a bit, so a bit taller, quite a bit narrower. Oops, like that. Yeah, maybe a bit taller. This might look terrible, but let's give it a go. Oh, you did a pull request. Let me do that right now. I have to admit I've not been paying that much attention to that, and I'm not getting notifications, so I need to swap the notifications over. But yeah, I can see that, so thank you very much, that's amazing. Yeah, looks good to me. I'll just merge that in. I suppose I could bring it over here. Nice. Let me make a note Need to actually bring that into the base game. Okay, yeah, being very old school with a pen and paper there. Right. Is that any good? I don't know. Let's try it in here. So now that's a long drop. So if I add that. Move that one. Right, now I need to make those smaller. That's fine. Still a bit too fat, isn't it? Yeah, let's make it even. Yeah, let's make it longer. Yeah. So this is nice. Feels like the first time I've had direct feedback in a stream that I've then been able to implement straight away, which is pretty cool, I think. Bump that up a bit. I mean, it's just some pixels, really. Okay, let's add that back. That's looking better. So yeah, as soon as I save this and launch the game, it should show up. So let's go with that size. I might want to make it bigger. It's tricky because when you zoomed in quite close, you can see them quite clearly, but when you zoom out, you can't see them at all. So let me go with that one. So that's my rain particle. And, oops. So just launching the game. This should apply, like if someone was trying to mod the game as well. It knows what's changed. It does some, like, hashing of files. Compares some checksums. Because these go in the sprite sheet, lots and lots of stuff gets recalculated. Oh, I need to get the normal as well. There. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm using this little app called Sprite Delight that I got from Kickstarter a good number of years ago, which automatically generates normal maps from images. So I'll just do this one manually. I'll do. What's that? So we'll just have to repackage the sprite sheets again. Okay. I know what, I need to change my Twitch account. So it should be as easy as clicking authorize, copying that to the clipboard, and going there. Perfect. Right. Yeah, that was better. Yeah, so thanks for that suggestion. That's a great one. It's a bit jumpy, and that's with the way that the particles effects set up. I want to improve that. I'll do that now. It's tricky. It's tricky because I need it to apply like per tile, if it's inside or outside. So if we have an indoor area, which I don't on this map, let's create one. It also doesn't look great if you're on top speed, which most players will be doing most of the time. But it doesn't look terrible. So I think I can live with that. So there's a weird side effect where if you pause the game, well, I've changed it now, so if you pause the game now, it just disappears and then reappears when you unpause. And I might live with that, because what's happening is it only draws particle effects on the screen, you know, where the camera is. So what was happening before is if I pause the game, it'll stay frozen on the screen, which is great, but then as I pan the camera, you could see that the raindrops were all just on this area that the camera used to be at. Up here, for example. Which looks pretty poor, because then you've got the rest of the map with no rain. So, slight bodge for now is just removing the rain on pause and bringing it back when you unpause. I mean, jumping around the map while it's active is kind of fine. Anyway, why is nobody mining this bit down? Need to get some pickaxes, which they won't do until about 8 o'clock. I should probably change that. Yeah, it could be a different colour. Dark blue. Well, let's give it a go and see how it looks. But yeah, one thing I was talking about is I can make rain appear there now. Yeah, on a light background, which you probably won't see. It's kind of hard to spot. I mean, it probably wants to be subtle anyway, but I'm kind of happy with it overall. The more you zoom out, the less you can see it now, which might be okay, because it might just be that when you zoom out too far, I might just turn it off anyway to improve performance. But you can't really see it at this distance. Well, I can't see it. Okay, let's change the colour and just see how that looks, because that's quite easy to do. There's something going on there, but I'm not going to worry about that. So, that's lighter. Just pick a colour in here. So let's make that darker like that. A bit more blue. Save that as rain. And relaunch. So yeah, we'll have snowflakes after this, like directly after I finish working on rain, which does have quite a lot of work to do. To have effects in the game like dwarves being a bit upset working in the rain, probably being very upset if they have to sleep in the rain, that kind of thing. Tracking whatever overall, whatever it is. Chef Odef, thank you for following, welcome on. Right, where's our rain? It's a bit darker now. A bit darker. Which is fine. I think I want to see when it's daytime. But yeah, when I'm finished with this rain, which, as I'm going towards, there's quite a lot to do. Show me your toys. We'll get to see the code in a second, I suppose, if that's what we're interested in. I think I preferred it being a bit lighter, just so you could see this a bit clearer. Because you're generally playing the game at this sort of zoom, moving out here, with it being a bit more subtle. You don't see it at all. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'll change that back. But worth trying around. So we'll go back there, go back to about there. So yeah, snow next, but first lots of rain stuff. I'm even planning to have rust be a problem to deal with. So we're going to be adding oxidization to, well, ferrous materials, I suppose. So these steel barrel hoops would eventually rust if left out in the rain. And these iron ingots. Once we've done that, I could make copper turn a very pleasing turquoise colour, but not rust. That'd be nice. But it's really just to like force people to build rooms or roofing above buildings, or go into the mountain and actually have an area in here. Because right now you can play this game and just chuck everything on the floor outside, it doesn't matter. So it's a mechanic just to like force people to play a bit more realistically. Yeah, so we'll have rust, and that'll be the major thing to look out for. But it will take a very long time, so you know it gives you maybe that first year to get settled. So we might get to that today. I've got quite a lot of other bits to do first. Mostly happiness, and just adding the concept of weather at all, because we can see this rain effect, but it's not actually anything other than a visual effect right now. Okay, yeah, I like this. It is affected by lighting, but that's quite hard to notice. It is on top of everything, which makes sense. The black, yeah, when they have the black hair, they do have some really, really strong eyebrows, this guy. First and large spike, I mean, they are particularly strong eyebrows, yeah. Pretty dwarfish, I think. You can see the rains overlapping into these towers a little bit, which I'm okay with. That's depending on like how long they live for. I want them to overlap so you don't see the borders between the towers quite as much, and I think this is okay. My Twitch integration is not working, but never mind. Should I look at that? I suppose I should fix that. Maybe it's because this is a new account, so get Twitch subscribers doesn't work. Let's have a look into that. So I guess we come in here. Let's try and do this API call. Response. To look at the bottom of this. You're on the wrong side. Channel must be a partner or affiliate. Okay, that's good. That's good to know actually. So this needs to work, or at least not fold over, if you're streaming not as a partner or affiliate, because this is a new channel, so I'm definitely not an affiliate yet. But, you know, people might want to stream this. We're not affiliates, and we should support that. So, alright, I need you to stop making that noise for a second. Does that break everything? I don't think it does. I think this just keeps a list of current viewers and current subscribers, and if that just fails to work, it doesn't matter too much, I think. So we can test that by starting a new game and seeing if you guys are in the game. But maybe I should not care if we get this specific response. Make a different note for that. Sorry, I'm writing on where the microphone is. Okay. So, new game, dark hammer. Nice. have lots and lots of settlers, but some of them are you people. That's pretty exciting. Okay, so that's working, so I think that's fine. Yeah, I'll just squash that error in the log at least, for that one case if you're not an affiliate. Okay, fine. Right, weather. Let's do some weather. Sorry, I didn't give you much chance to see you dwarf then. A guy that I follow on Twitch was playing XCOM and having his viewers as characters, and the character that was supposed to be me looked exactly like me, which was really disturbing. Not knowing what I look like, you know, just a random character. I wonder if we can improve that. Anyway, weather. Okay, so I'm gonna have different types of weather, like rain, sunshine, snow. Lots of stuff in this game. Almost everything in this game has like something type, like a weather type is a thing that I want to add. So where would that go? We've got like a environment package. Yeah, in here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have a weather type. This is gonna match to something that you can mod in. Probably in here. So, just make this up. It'll have a name. This one's gonna be rain. It might have a particle effect. Which I think is also called rain. Yeah, so that's the definition of the particle effect type. Doesn't really matter if it's the same string, but I could make it different. But why don't I just do it with rain actually? So we have that. We have I think I actually want to make it moddable in terms of like happiness for being in this rain. I'll probably change all this. I'm gonna have happiness modifiers, which map to a few different states that I'm gonna just invent. So like working, sleeping, walking, that kind of thing. So if you're walking in rain, you'll get this happiness modifier applied. If you work, you'll get this one. If you sleep, you'll get this one. So they're going to map to whatever I've got in here. Happiness modifiers. Now these at the moment are hard-coded. So at some point I need to make these moddable as well. But they'll use the same names. So yeah, I'll just have some more of these for now. So I think this is a way to do it. So these won't last very long, and that's a fairly mild happiness modifier of -10. How many hours does that last for when you get out of the rain? I mean, how long do people get upset about for being getting wet? Not too long, half an hour maybe. However, having to do some work in the rain, you're a bit more upset about, and sleeping in rain, you're very upset about. Maybe that lasts for a bit longer. You have a grumpy morning for a while if you woke up having been rained on. Maybe -30 is not enough, but I don't want to be too mean with this. We called the boys to see the magic as it happens. I mean, yeah, we're literally adding brand new stuff and just making it up off the top of my head right now. This is all part of the fun of game dev. Okay, so we have those. Happiness modifiers, yeah. So I need to map to those. So these bits here, this walking, working, sleeping thing, that's a total invention right now. Doesn't mean anything, doesn't map to anything. So I might come back to that, but yeah, that's gonna have to tie into the AI somehow. Okay, so what else does rain do? I suppose this might be a bit advanced for now, but it oxidizes? So any iron gets turned to rust over time of being in rain. That's what that's going to mean. So there's going to be different. This is to find different types of rain, weather, and then separately I'm going to have something which defines what the schedule of the weather looks like. And I think that'll be broken down further, where you have a daily weather, like sunshine with scattered showers, that kind of thing, and then a thing to say like what schedules of weather, what days of weather you get in different days of the month or season. Oh, here's another one. So when it's raining, I want it to be a bit less bright outside. So so I'm going to have some sort of maximum value for the sunlight. So this will be a colour instead of white. So the sun's spitting out that lighting most of the time. And it goes a little bit yellow in the morning, in the evening. So if it is raining, maybe a little bit darker. Not a lot, but maybe a bit more grey. Right there. You can see how that looks. I've got a quite nice plugin for my IDE which shows me the colours of Xcodes. Okay, anything else? Yeah, I can always add more stuff later. Oh, here's a good one as well. Chance to extinguish fire. So if you are a fire and you're being rained on every few seconds, let's say there's a 35% chance that the fire goes out. Yeah. Acid in my fridge, thank you for following. And I might keep saying this, but this is a new channel, new setup, so I don't have very good follower notifications yet. We'll work on that. Okay, so I'm defining what a type of weather looks like. Anything else to go on there? No, I think that'll do for now. Okay, so I need some Java class to represent this, which basically looks like exactly the same. I've got some annotations to go on this. Particle effect type name. So that when I load this thing, Lord Winterfellow, This isn't the in-game music. This is just a Twitch soundtrack, background music that I have on. But sometimes the game runs long after the songs are playing. I mean, if that's a game you're making, then maybe you're telling the audio layer, the sound card, open audio, or whatever, to play something and not telling it to stop when the game stops, maybe. But sometimes would be a bit weird. Anyway, so as well as having the name of the particle effect type, we can actually load the actual particle effect type. So we'll have that as a string. I'll just map that to the colour. So this JSON ignore annotation is that you won't see it in the JSON version on the right hand side, and it won't come out that way, but in code it's going to have this, actual object, an actual colour object I can make use of. So that, which will be false. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand what you mean there, Lord Winterfellow. The in-game music songs are not always there. Oh yeah, if it's this game, sometimes I'm launching it, it just fails to talk to open audio. And that's a bug I've not figured out yet. But I can see that when I launch the game. Or if you look in the log after it happens, maybe. There's quite often like an error in here saying that it can't allocate the audio buffer. And I really don't know why. I mean, for the stream I have the music disabled, so it doesn't clash horribly with this background music that I'm playing. But yeah, that's one of the not too many bugs that I really don't have a clue why that's happening yet. Okay, so this is going to be a float. It's an object float, so we can make it nullable, because you might not have a chance to extinguish a fire. That's okay. Right, and these happiness modifiers is a map of the string to, well, right now it's literally a happiness modifier like that. Actually, no, let's just have that nullable too. Okay, so this is a plain old Java object now, matching this JSON object. Will that do? I think that'll do. Okay, so I got web type. Oh, and I have a special annotation. On some of these, this name annotation, which is what the sort of model loader uses to know if this is the same thing as something else. At that point, actually, I should generate an equals in hash code based on the name. It's like the only unique identifier. Okay. So I got these web types here. I need to collect all of them across all the mods that might be loaded. So So what I mean is, for all the stuff that's in this mods directory, so base being a mod, community translations that Canvassys is working on as well is a mod, and listed font people who suffer from dyslexia, and any other mods that people might invent. You know, these are ones that come with the game. But I'm really hoping that people will eventually start making their own mods. They all get like collated together and combined into this assets directory. So I was adding the particle sprite before. That goes in to a big sprite sheet in tile sets here, and we can see that's changed. So there's all the sprites in the game right now. The one that we changed is really small, so you probably won't see it on here. Well, it's there somewhere. So I have this mess to tell the game what comes from where and what goes to where. And this is going to look pretty similar to job types and professions. All materials. Or this one. So the asset directory is going to go into definitions as web types. It's a single file, it's a JSON array. It's a web type. .class. I'm going to change this audio a bit. It comes from definitions. Whatever types.json, HTTP and JSON array, you can add them together, and it's going to use that thing, which does some magic to load it into this. Okay. Now that we've changed that, I need to actually make sure this is the new version, which is Alpha 6. So now when I launch the game, it should parse those web types. That happened. So over in assets, definitions, there's new web types. And the layout's changed ever so slightly because this is actually machine generated based on the other one. Okay. So a pattern I'm following is that for all these things, then have a dictionary to look them up from that loads them. So what we need is a weather type dictionary. So this is just a bit of boilerplate code really to have something which knows about all those files in the mod. And it's just going to keep them by name, I think. So this probably means just copying and pasting some code from one of the many other ones of these that I have. I could do it like this, but that's a bit old-fashioned now. Create these. Like that. This file handles a libgdx sort of wrapper around files, which I don't know if I want to keep using or not, but there it is. it's the Dwaro Scholar. Hail, welcome back. Not seen you around for quite a long time, but I think I have your Dwarven pinup calendar somewhere. Okay, and thanks for dropping by, Lord Winterfellow. Okay, what we're doing? Getting some weather types, defining what weather types are, and trying to load them. Do I want to do this way? Yeah, I'll do. You know what? No, let's just do that. Okay, if that works, that should load in the weather types from that JSON file I was just looking at. Oh, that's excellent. Thank you. So, big news that I haven't really posted out yet is that I'm working full-time on this now, which is just amazing. And so much is getting done compared to previously. It was glacially slow over the last, well, year or two or more, forever. But for the last 2 weeks or so, I've been full-time, and I will be for, well, hopefully forever. And we're looking at getting to Steam in about 6 months' time. Maybe less even, but the current goal is launching on Steam in January, which is quite exciting, so lots to do. Finished Alpha 5 2 weeks ago, started Alpha 6, which got moved around, which means it's now Fire, which I think I'm done with, and Weather. So here we are at the start of Weather. So yeah, very, very, very good news. And yeah, we just should see so much more happen. Okay. Why is that still a wall type? Because that says wall type. Oh, this is funky. Whenever I need Dwarvish text, I will definitely come to you first. You are definitely the one and only Dwarven scholar that I've come across, so yeah, I'll be knocking on your door. I do actually plan to have text balloons and, well, at least 4 balloons and speech bubbles. They probably won't have English text in them, but you know, some Dwarven runes in there might be good. And Catane Silver, thank you for following. Need a Dwarf TED Talk. Well, I think the Drow Scholar is your man for that. I think he can sort it out for you. What am I doing? Just writing some code there, thinking about it. I'm going to use that later. Okay. But yeah, hopefully going to have some like fort and speech bubbles, which are probably just going to have icons in them. Not really thought about how detailed they might be. I'd have to kick you off the stage. Well, I guess that's what your YouTube channel's for when you get back to it, or your streams. Look what we're doing here. So I've created this initialize function to fetch these 2 bits, this particle effect type and this color. So the color's pretty simple. Say if it has a color, get max sunlight if that exists. Then we'll just set the actual color one based on this little hex colors utility that I wrote. that just means you need to do that once, so that's alright. But the other one is if it's got a particle effect. So if we have one of those, we're going to need the particle effect type dictionary. You can see a pattern now that have all these dictionary classes to look all these things up. So we try and get it, but you might not find it. You might put a typo in your mod or something, or I might have done. I think for now I'll just log a warning, or an error rather. Can't find particle effect type. For weather type. So that will get logged out if there's a doesn't it can't find it. Which should do, because it should just mean that whoever's writing the mod, which is probably me, fixes it. It's not something a player should have to deal with. It is, it definitely is a kind of voodoo, is the coding, but I guess this is what I've spent most of my life doing. And thank you for following. So yeah, might as well be Elvish. Okay, so that says that. So now in my weather type objects, if that's set, that'll get set. If that name is set, the instance thing will be set. Okay. Okay, so we have types of weather now. Lost a little step by step in a few months. You can have a good prototype though. Yeah, you can. It's so much easier to start or get into now, and there's just so much stuff out there. What was that? There's a very, very loud rumbling from outside. I don't think it's thunder, so that's kind of worrying. Just a second. Oh, it is thunder. There is a massive downpour here. That's appropriate. Yeah, so I'm going to have some audio of the rain with probably some thunder in it. I might as well just stick the microphone out the window. Living in the UK, it just rains all the time apparently. So right now in the game, it literally is going to rain forever while I'm sorting this weather out. That worried me. I don't know where that came from. But yeah. Okay, that's all done. Right. What's next? Okay, so the world will have some kind of weather at any given time. That is going to be set up to last a certain length of time. So I've got this far too complicated thing called the game context. I think within there we've got a settlement state, and is that what I want? Where's it part of the map? Yeah, I've got this map environment for the current sunlight, so I guess the weather can go in here too. Yeah, the thunder's really throwing me off. And this does say as well it could be moved. Let me just save my changes so far. So there's a clock, that's where your time of day and stuff goes, and year and season, that makes sense. the map has a map environment. I don't know if it needs to be on there. I might move that, actually. As this says. Should it be separated from the game? Or from the map? But just in the game context? Probably doesn't matter. So I might do that. Let's do that. Try and revive your stockpile mod. Yeah. I feel like he did the one before we had better stockpiles in there. So now it should be in a better state to mess around with. Now you can mod in these stockpile groups, which I can't remember if you could do before. You could certainly invent your own ones, these, and swap items around to point up whichever ones. Yeah, I think so. Right, yeah, I'm going to move this thing. So this is all about the, well, it is the state of the game. So it needs to be like what goes in the save game as well. Persistence. Oh, got some lightning outside here. If I lose the stream. The mic's picking up that thunder, isn't it? Yeah, if the stream just goes off suddenly, blame the lightning. I wonder if I should open the window. It just seems I'm working on the rain. No, that's too loud. But yeah, Catan, I do think it's in a better place than it was, whenever that was. Okay, so having this on here instead of in here, I need to save and load the thing. And I can't quite remember how the map itself gets saved yet. Just goes into this map JSON somewhere. Oh, I see. Maybe it's too much effort to change it. Maybe I'm not saving this actually. Yeah, maybe it's not persisted just yet, so I should move this around. Yeah, it's not persisted because this is just updated every frame anyway. Okay, that sort of helps. Yeah, let's go to that. Proper thunderstorm outside, and I was just listening through a whole bunch of different like rain audio to put into the game earlier. Okay, so I was going this. Let's just do that. Maybe I should call it environment. No, I'll do that. There's probably a way of doing this automatically. I've not done. Oh, that's annoying. Gonna have to pass it into this. There we go. Let's pass into there as well. I'm just going to change this over instead. That'll do. Okay, so now I have this map environment on my game context. Need a way of making sure it gets persisted. Like this. So, so this is just one big thing that holds everything in the game as it's going between the save file, which is also JSON, and the Java code. So when I create one of these, I need to initialize that. So this is putting it in there. Yes, the map's just done by hand there. How do I want to do this? So this is actually loading it, so map environment equals new. Yeah, so I've got this interface to say that it can be persisted. That should load it. So what stores it? Oh, this bit, okay. Okay, I hope that's everything. This is one of the more gnarly parts of the code base. Doing all the persistence, the save files. Actually, that's in a weird place. Let's put it there. Do it like this actually. Anyway, that should work. So, if my map environment now has like a current weather type. Writing it means putting the name in there. And reading it means looking at about name. So I've got this awful gigantic class of all my dictionaries. This is a bit too big. Come on. There we go. Okay, then in here I can say that work type dictionary. I'll get my name. That. So you load the weather, and then if we couldn't find that for whatever reason, there's a problem with the save. Okay, thanks for dropping by the Sorry, I cannot say Dwaro most of the time. Thank you for dropping by, and the very kind words. I'll catch you later. So this message here is mostly just for me. If something fails to load, this is what you see when the game says the current save is not compatible with the current version. It's because I don't put any compatibility migration in between major changes to the save file, which this sort of is, or just more new stuff. I think once when we go to Steam, or at least by the time, definitely 100% by the time we get near to the 1.0 release, saves will have to transfer between different versions. So far, I've just been ignoring that. Maybe when we hit Steam, then they have to carry over. I'll do that then. Anyway, so now a save game should have a map environment, and then when it's loaded, it should load back in. So right now that'll always be null. So when we create a map, we should give it some weather, I suppose. Yeah, just so we can see it work. Actually, it's not the... Oh, there's a point. Where does this even come from? This thing. So create a new game context for a assessment state and a map. So we need to make sure one of these is created, I suppose. So I'll have to do it like I do with this thing. Oops, I've done that. There we go. And this will just have to give it some initial weather. So for now, that can be the rain, because that's the only weather we have. So quite appropriately, it is raining quite hard outside. Which you might or might not be able to hear. Okay, so we've got Weather Dictionary. I'll do it. I'm going to obviously change this in the future. So for now I'm just going to fudge it where we just get anything. It's no setter. Okay, so that's a bit weird. I'm just going to give it whatever the dictionary gives to us first. And that's the weather that you get forever. But yeah, that'll change. Let me check that is happening. And then let's check on the persistence working. So this bit. And this bit. Right, so press start a new game. Mighty Cloud. This is initializing the weather. So this map environment now has current weather type of rain. That is good. Okay, so if I save the game, that should come in here. Got an JSON object that now says weather is rain. Okay, and when I load the game, it comes in here, loads the rain. Okay, so it's not a fantastic little manual test because I've only got one type of weather right now, but I just wanted to make sure those points were getting hit. Oh, it blew up. Oh yeah, that's why. Oh, maybe not actually. It actually been set then. So when we loaded it, no, I didn't put it anywhere. So yeah, how's this used? That's what I was missing. Okay, that's well, that's the kind of thing I was testing for. So when I load this again, hopefully it works. Yeah, that looks okay to me. Let's just inspect everything to make sure that's there. So we have game context. It's got a map environment and that has current weather, and that weather is rain. Okay, That's a good first step. Okay, so now that we have that, we have the thing drawing the rain, which is hard-coded to always show rain right now, so we can change that. So we have a weather effect updater, that's this thing. So that can go away, we don't need to hard-code it to be rain anymore. Okay, so we have a current weather, which we get from the game context, like that. And if the current weather dot get particle effect type exists, then we'll see if we need to draw it. Suppose that goes there actually. So this won't look like much, but hopefully it proves that the weather now comes from what's defined in the file over here. So we got rain. It's not quite subtle, isn't it? We should make it bigger. Probably playing about this soon. Yeah, I'll make it a little bit bigger. This one. Yeah, I'm a bit happy with that. I'll probably just keep tweaking it all the time. Okay, so I could do something crazy like change the rain particle effect to use one of the other particle effects, just to prove that that works. Might as well. So, where are they? I'm looking at the wrong place. Particles. Yeah, we could turn it from rain into dust clouds. That would be insane. Let's see what it does. There's just gonna be constant clouds of dust everywhere, I think. Wow. It is green. Not sure why. Oh, it's not green. It picks up the colour of the tile. Wow, so dusty. It's kind of funky, isn't it? You can do some very interesting things with particle effects. Yeah, maybe that's like halfway to a dust storm. It does look like poisonous fog. I quite like the river. It's quite artistic. Okay, well at least that proves I can just point it or whatever. Oh, the waves it is going in is a very interesting side effect. Okay. Yeah, that's not messing around with that. Let's stick with rain. Okay. So I'm using that. That's the start. Okay, we got this sunlight thing. Let's make that work. So this sunlight calculator gives you a color based on this, which is a bit hard to see. I need to change these into hex colors at some point so it's more readable. But you can see that sunlight is 255, so that's white that you get for most of the day. So where's that used? Okay, yeah, so you get a sunlight color. But I now want to clamp that color if the weather has a max color. So I'm going to assume there is always some weather. And if current weather, that's one of those. Is there a way to read this? It's like a max multiply. Do I want to just multiply it by that color? Maybe. No, I don't do it. No, I want to sort of clamp it. Is there a clamp actually? No, the clamp just goes to 1. Alright, what can I do with this thing then? Multiply, add, subtract, maybe. Don't want to interpolate. Might just do like max. Mathed up max on each channel of colour. Luminance alpha. Should probably figure out how that works. Okay, so this isn't gonna be too super neat, but okay. The red is max of current red. Is the max? No, it's the min. There's the smaller of that, or the current one. Right, okay. Do it this way. I feel like there should be a utility function to do this already. Maybe I should create one. I have high grass. I'm not sure. I mean, the bushes that we have are like a tile tall. So I don't think so. But never say never on that front. I certainly don't plan to change it for quite a while. It depends how you see the scale of things, I suppose. Because most of these games keep everything to the size of, one tile. The bush is quite kind of flat, isn't it? Oh, hang on. So, is it a bit darker? I'm going to need some dev tools. Oh, of course it is. So here's a little view that I built in that shows the lighting system. So, like that's the base color, the diffuse color. There's the normal maps. This is the lighting map. So you can see it's all grey, even though it's 940, and my spotlight's working. Maybe the spotlight shouldn't work. That'd be too complicated not to do. Oh, is it that you haven't seen the shrubs? So yeah, there's no flowers yet, but there might be more to the grass than just this texture. It might just be like small little bits, maybe. Probably not. So yeah, there's a light now because it's not quite as bright. So it's pretty subtle. Oh, I can zoom out a long way in dev mode. So I guess what I could do with is changing the weather. Okay, let's put the other weather in. Okay, so this is, I don't know, perfect weather. Doesn't have a particle effect type, doesn't have a max sunlight, doesn't oxidize, doesn't put fire out, doesn't have happiness modifiers, doesn't have anything. So the lighting is going to change instantly, which I don't really want it to do. I'll come back to that. Okay. Oh, that's painful, isn't it? I'm gonna have to actually interpolate it a little bit. Am I? Or is it just changing good enough? Okay, I'm rambling a bit here. I'm gonna put something in so I can just switch the weather in and out. What I really need to do is build some sort of console for people to do their own messing around with things. Okay, so that's some hacky code that's not going to live very long, but I'm clicking the mouse now. It should swap the weather between those two. It might now start as sunshine. I need to put into the UI what the current weather is as well. So I might do that next. Yeah, I'll probably do that next actually. Okay, so it's raining. It's pretty right now. It's not raining, but it is raining. Let's fix that. Okay, let's fix that first. So, when there's a change in the weather, I'll fix that differently. I'll have something which keeps track of what the weather is. In fact, do I already have that? Do I have like a weather manager? No, that's what I'm making next. That can deal with it rather than me doing it right now. So I guess what I care about is the changing lighting to abrupt. Right, say it's sunshine, and then it changes to rain, it just goes bam. No, I don't like that. We're gonna have to interpolate it. Still, in terms of showing it sort of being a bit cloudy, I think that works. Yeah, let's make that smoother. Okay, so right now, it always knows what the sunlight color is, which is actually a thing which lives here in the map environment. Oh, that's interesting. I'm doing that. Oh, it's the amount. It isn't the current sunlight. It's just the amount. It's the average of the 3 channels. So that's what color it is, just like how bright it is. Okay. So I'm probably gonna have some concept of like what the sunlight currently is and what it wants to be, and then it can move between them over time. So what it currently is probably wants to get stored alongside where the weather is. We'll have to persist this, so it goes in the save file. Okay, so I think this means we're going to shift that logic for how much sunlight there is. It's going to live in here. Why can't I create that? So that can shift there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we have what the real color is. But this is going to be the target color. Just gonna drop that. Okay, and then we're going to have the current color. Not created yet. Right. So I need to interpolate between them, which I can probably use that lerp function for. Don't know how it works though. So lerp towards that. How much? Let's see what that does. So I could use delta time, which is, you know, the fraction of a second that has elapsed in the current frame. If I do that, then it will move towards it a little bit. It will move towards it overall a little less each time. It's like the it's like if I go 50% every time, I'll do 50%, then 75, then 87.5, and so on. It'll eventually near it, but won't be quite there. Oh, whatever. Let's see if that works. It might just change really slowly. Oh, I don't know. So it needs to be tied into the frame rate, at least a little bit. I also don't want to take forever. But if I'm doing some of the overall remaining amount every time, you'll never get there, which doesn't really matter. I can see if this works. Just see what that does. I feel like this will mess up the overnight sunlight, but we'll see. No. Oh, that makes sense. That save wouldn't work. Yeah, that's too gradual. So it's so weird how when the game starts it's actually black, so it fades in. Isn't terrible. Oh, what's going on? It's changing all this too. How's that happened? What? I probably left it on the same colour somehow. What? It's a mess, isn't it? Oh yeah, I've seriously messed up there. Okay, what happens when we get to night time? It's changing this colour with the sunlight colour. How have I done that? Oh, this is gone all kinds of wrong. Okay, what the hell have I done? Well, let's not do that now. Let's just go back to that for a moment. What the hell? I don't know. I have no idea how I've created such a weird bug there. Sound effects are making it crash. What a mess. How's this happened? What have I done? Maybe that's an actual bug there. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's a proper bug. Just going to think what's happening there is I've managed to generate a map where the starting position is inside a wall in one corner. So it's removing the wall, but removing the wall is trying to play a sound, and playing a sound isn't working yet. So that's a proper bug, is that one. Let's see if I can recreate it by forcing that seed to get used again. That should do. Suppose I can just put it there. Okay, this is a proper bug that's quite hard to recreate, so that's nice. So it's trying to play a sound, which it doesn't need to do. Does it have a game context yet? Oh, it does. Wow, there's 12,000 entities on the map. It's more than I expected. Okay, so it's falling over because... maybe because there's no camera position yet. Maybe I just need to check for that. Wasn't expecting this to get called when the camera wasn't yet initialized. position is null. Okay, that's... So come in here. Yeah, I think I can just say if camera position is not null and that stuff, then you get to play the sound. Yeah, that seems okay. Right, that should sort this out. I'm interested to see what this spawn looks like. Yeah, so I had to remove this cliff with this wall. I think that's quite interesting. Okay. Alright, back to this lighting then. How do I do this? Why is it messing up so badly? Guess the sprite batch color is being left as that color. Yeah, something weird's going on there. The lab must be doing something really weird. Okay, well, what if I did outdoor lighting batch set color? This figures out what colour the sunlight should be at the time of day. This then bounds it to the weather. So that changes over time already, in a way that I want it to. But this doesn't. I think I just have to store like the start and end points, then I can move block between them linearly. Sounds really messy though. So like in here I can have like a, what's the current colour, what's the target colour, what the colour was? No. I guess I just need to restructure most of this. I've got some light colour calculator. I have a weather colour. So I guess the weather colour could change gradually. That's what I want to do. Okay. So I'll have a weather manager. And that says this. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so this is, what am I doing? This is something which implements updatable, so stuff happens all the time. Does it run while it's paused? No. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. This is probably a terrible stream. But most of this is just figuring out what I want to do and how to do it. I don't know the answer to either of those most of the time. Okay, so this is going to have a colour. There's the current weather colour. And it's going to get set to white most of the time. It's going to initialize itself as white. I still don't know what I'm doing. So I want to change this over time. That's a go there. Yeah, that goes there. No, it's not. Yeah, we'll change this one gradually. I guess I just need some sort of like velocity to change the colours with, which I can figure out. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is a thing which runs. Storing the current color. You know what the current color is. And when this runs, when this gets updated by some amount of time, which I think is irrespective of the game speed, but I'm not sure. No, it does depend on the game speed. That's fine. I don't know, I just need to figure out some maths. Okay. weather's max sunlight color isn't the current weather color, but I want to change them by some amount. So maybe I just change like the red, green, blue channels individually by a set amount based on time. Okay, so if we said it would take 3 seconds to go from like black to white. Let's make it really slow for now. Then we can see how this works. Yeah. So the change amount is the fraction of 10 seconds that it currently is. So that's the fraction of that. Right, so that's the amount of 0 to 1 that I'm going to change these values by. Okay. This is terrible. Oh, I do apologize if anyone's still watching this. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got a t-shirt that says I don't know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing, but it's very painful getting there. Okay. Right, the current weather color. Red. It's art. It is art. It is it's an arts and a sciences coding. So there's a difference between the current color and the weather color. So I want the absolute value of the difference between the two. Yes. So current weather color. I need to change this. Let's have no one. Okay, that at least reads a little better. We've got a current weather color and we have a target weather color. And if they are different, I'm going to do some horrible mess. Right. So, I'm going to do it by each channel, the red, green, blue channels. So, if the... you know what, let's just find the diff. So, target red minus current red. So if that diff amount is less than this change amount, I'm just going to set it. I'm just going to set it to be the target, so we get there eventually. Less than or equal to actually. So the current weather color is then set to the target. Okay. Else, if the difference is less, no, is negative, then I need to do something. Like I need to add on the change amount. else I need to take off the change amount. And that's probably the wrong way around. And I need to do that for each red, green, blue. Which is there a way I can refactor that out a bit easily? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, let's just copy and paste that for now. We'll do red, and we'll do green. Now we'll do blue. Okay. Does this equals even work? Sort of. Right. So I'm going to stick a breakpoint in there. And we come in to nice weather. Then when I hit the button, it should try to change to a bit darker. And that should take like, I don't know, a second or two. It's not going to be 10 seconds, it's going to be the difference between that and that is a fraction of the whole thing out of 10 seconds. So like, what is that, like a quarter? It's maybe like 2.5 seconds. So it should be noticeable. Okay, fingers crossed. Hang on. Right, then we'll set the current weather color. This thing uses it. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It nearly works, we're getting there. So I think this needed to actually have this set, so let's stick that in there. Okay, white and grey. Let's just say that always has to be set. It's probably in the class. Let's just do it that way to make it easy. Okay, right. So then there is just always a weather color. Yeah. So we don't have that. We have this. And it gets bound by the weather color. The actual weather color. Man, this is painful. Okay. Right. Fingers crossed then. Oh, I didn't expect to hit this right now. Okay. No, that's actually what I want, because the target is the sort of grey colour. And the current is white. Okay. Right, so this, my delta time is 0.0666, which is 60th of a second. So divided by 10, it's even less. It's a very small change. So the difference is minus that. That's the key one. So my current target is less. Okay, that makes sense. doesn't work, does it? So if the absolute value of that is less, yeah. Let's go in here again. Yeah, wants to an absolute value somewhere. Okay, try this again. So we're going to change by that much. Very small number. But if, and that's the difference between the two, between the red channel. So if that was less than that, then just set them to it, but that's not true. So we'll breakpoint that for that is true. Right, if it is negative, which it is, I want to take it off the current color. I'll set it on. And yeah, I get those the wrong way around. Okay, once more. And we're back to thunderstorm out here again. You can probably hear that one. No, not that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Right, so go in here. Right, the channel diff is that big negative amount. So current weather color red will reduce it by a little bit. So it goes from FF to FD. Okay, that's a bit less. Happy with that. Same for green. Green changed by quite a bit. Doesn't seem right. Oh, it's because I've done this, isn't it? Because I forgot to put that in the other two. This is why you should never copy and paste code. But I don't think I have a way of nicely pulling out the red, green, blue bit of those. Yeah, it's actually quite nice having the thunder and lightning. You know what? I should probably just record what's happening outside. Just open the window and leave the microphone recording and use that in the game. That'd be pretty cool. Because I do need to add ambient noise to the rain. So there's one I've already just pulled off the internet that's free to use. That was going to do. So it already is. But you know, if it was like home recorded, I would add a bit more to it. Yeah, a bit of low bass. Okay, let's do this again. Right, so red goes to FD, green goes to FD, and blue goes to something. FD. So the sunlight color is the same as the weather color. Not quite what I wanted. Why did I create these two? Why is the sunlight color the same? Oh, right. I know what my crazy bug was before. I am changing the value of white. That's why my UI went absolutely insane earlier. Yeah. So in this thing, when it's set to white, I'm changing the constant value of white here because it's not constant. So let's do that. Copy of it. Right. That's an easy one to get caught out on. Okay, let's do this again, go through all those. Okay, so now we have environment, sunlight's white, weather's a little bit less, and we'll get math.min to that, and it will change over time. So let's take this off. Take some time. Now I must have met it without coming into here. Okay, that's fine. Right, here we go. Oh, it's nice and slow. You know what, that's quite a slow transition, but maybe that's quite good actually. Kettle, golden keeper. Little people, well, Chef of Death. I can't remember how these are sorted. But there you are. Oh, hang on. What's going on in my brain here? Just gotta... okay. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. We're getting there, we're gonna add that. It's because it wasn't raining anymore, but the rain particle effects carry on. Okay, yeah, but if it's quite slow, that is more natural, so I quite like that. I think I might actually just leave it that speed. However, it is modified by the game speed, so if this is going really fast, and I'll do it, it changes fast, which is fine. Okay, well, for one thing, let's see what the weather is up here. Let's fix this thing with the rain not going away. But that's pretty good. Man, that was a pain to figure out. Yeah, I'm gonna commit that, I think. Actually, I should check how it looks at nighttime. I'm sure it'll be okay. Oh, you do hardware. I never really got into hardware myself. All the low-level stuff. I've just done really boring, kind of standard business software for most of my career, which basically boils down to, you know, put a button on a web page. When you click the button, something happens with a database somewhere, and that's about it. There's no concern for performance or, well, anything really. It's very different to doing game dev, which is a lot of fun. I wasn't doing. Did I say I was going to commit that and then I committed it, and then I was going to change something? Oh yeah, nighttime. That's how there. See how it looks at nighttime. Yes. Yeah, it really is painting by numbers. Day job. Well, it's just amazing. I've got to quit doing that for now. Oops. I've got to get rid of these saves. But yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Right, nighttime. So if it stops raining, no, let's just start raining. Rain, 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 kind of dark. Doesn't look great at speed 4, but did look a lot worse before. You can sort of see the square shapes to it, with the way the particle effects work on such a high speed. But I think I can live with that compared to it was just lines at first. Well, hit my save point. Oh, some proper thunder in the background there. Anyway, I guess the nighttime works. If I go to nice weather, it looks the same. If I go to rain, it looks the same. Yeah, I expected that to work. Okay, this thing. Let's pull that in. Let's just shift that off into a method that I'll never look at again. Okay, so what do I want to do? This thing controls the weather changing. So when the weather changes, this probably wants to know about it. Or this triggers it happening rather. And doing that needs to stop the current rain. Let's tell the other thing. So I have this weather effect of data. Maybe it just calls this itself, actually. Let's do that. Let's just do that for now. So I'm going to have some sort of schedule of the weather. I should probably build all that now then. Right, so the thing stores what the current weather is each day. Yeah, let's just make it up. Okay, we got weather types. I've got like sunlight and time and day settings in there. I don't have a very good naming scheme going on here. So what is this? What am I even doing here? So you can have different kinds of weather in a day. So you might have that where it's just lovely, nice sunlight all day. You might have something that's like scattered showers that just goes between the two of them. Let's have that. Okay. So these will have, yeah, some kind of weighted array. Yeah, exactly that really. I'm just going to have a little array of the weather types and how likely they are. Maybe not how likely they are, just maybe just how long they last. Maybe how likely they are too. But yeah, that was some great peals of thunder back there. Don't know what to call this yet. Is it an array? And then there'll be things which have like whatever type. So sometimes it's perfect. And sometimes it's rain. And they last for different lengths of time. So I might just have a minute in max and just pick somewhere linearly along there. How long might rain last for? Minutes. To, I don't know, a few hours, 6 hours, and maybe something else as well. Oops. So I might also have like a chance, like percentage dice roll or something in here to say how likely each one is, but I might not bother yet. I might just say if there's more than one, you get one of the other ones randomly. But yeah, all the other types to come. Because yeah, this is just like, here's showers, but some days in certain seasons have like proper thunderstorms, and there'll be different weather that has lightning and thunder too. Yeah, all the rest, which you've got a very good list for there. But I think I'll just keep it to these two. Fairy lights, that is a good idea. Alright, let me write that down. That's loud. Yeah, there's not many fantastical things in the game just yet, but there should be. Okay, so nice weather might last a bit longer. It's still in between, so it just keeps raining every so often. Yeah, that's scattered showers. So what's this? Some, weather durations, weather something, I don't know. It's a forecast. I don't know, it's a bit of a whimsical name. I suppose it is what's upcoming. Stick that for now. You know what, I'm just gonna only have scattered showers for now. Yeah, I might introduce some weighting into these whenever it becomes useful. Right, so this is daily weather. There's probably then also a chance of like, I don't know. Yeah, there's like a higher thing above this for what daily weather you get on different days in each season. But we'll come to that later. Yeah, I think that's all I'm after for now. Actually, and the other thing that I keep meaning to do is on these weather types, I want a internationalization key, which would be weather type, and that. Let's put those in. Something like that. Weather chains for which section was that? Probably wasn't paying close enough attention to chat there. Right, these keys need to go on the weather type. Oh yeah, the weathers that can chain to each other. Well, that's the idea of this. That whatever's in this array, whatever you currently have, when that finishes, it will go into one of the other ones. But yeah, I suppose you might like want to go from like rain to thunderstorm to rain, or sun, or calming the storm, that kind of thing. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, you could have like next. Just what it transitions to next. That would be pretty cool. But I'll just have this simple thing for now, and figure out where to go after. But yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so before I forget, let's make the UI tell you what the weather is. It's all good. I feel like the background music really gives this quite nice vibes. So I'm thinking just above the clock, just saying what the weather is. The whole UI is going to get redesigned before we launch on Steam. So it's just a case of just getting it in there somewhere for now. So I think if I just said perfect weather, pouring rain, I'd be pretty happy. So there's a time and date, something or other, time and day, time, GUI, that one. Okay, there is a table with the label, the speed buttons, day and time label, weather label, it's text widget, or do we have a better way of making this? Yes I do. No I don't. This needs to change. That's why it's been done that way. Okay. So we add the weather label there, spanning across that many columns, in the center with some padding. It's pretty straightforward. And when this gets updated, weather label as text is translated version of the yeah, put that thing. That dot weather. Okay. Maybe that'll do. That'd be nice and easy. Not quite. I forgot to put a row on there. And why it's on a separate line? It doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be. Let's not do that. Okay, pouring rain. Perfect weather. Sort of. Okay, that's something. That was nice and easy. Right, so I've got this. Guess I'm just gonna have to create a whole bunch of boilerplate that matches this again. Omicron. Oh, okay, it's following. Thank you for following. I'm probably not being very vocal on this stream overall. But I am trying to add weather to the game. And I don't know what to call anything. Oh, good. Good. I mean, I'm trying to talk through my thought process, but I think sometimes I just stop and start pontificating over it for too long. So is this called daily weather? Is this called daily weather type? Let's call it daily weather type. Even though I call everything type, so there's a bit too many of those. And I have this annotation from name, and really all this is a list of things. Blah blah blah. Called the forecast. Probably don't need to initialize this array, but okay. And that is a what? Something horrible like just like a whatever. No. A whatever type and duration. It's a chunk of weather. It's just like our forecast item or something. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so this is one of these. Let's change this. Is it? It's probably a bit more readable if it doesn't have name on there, but I don't know. Maybe this is more consistent. Right, so because these are in-game hours that these are representing. For whatever reason, I'm using doubles for the game clock and floats for other stuff. Okay, so I can probably load that from disk now. Yeah, this is fine. It can stay with one file for now, I suppose. So this horrible messing thing says what gets copied from here to where. Like these, I guess. It's actually a little bit more like the whatever types that I did earlier. Okay, so this goes to settings, or else that would become confusing. So it goes to daily weather, JSON array for this type, daily weather type. It comes from settings, daily weather. Oh, so, okay, right. So by putting this entry in here, people should be able to add their own mods if they put a file called that in that directory. And then if they use the same name, it will replace these ones, but if they use different names, they'll get added. So that should work quite well. Well, let's see if that works. No? Surprised they didn't get picked up. Or maybe it's because I loaded it before. I don't know. I'm expecting it to come over here. It hasn't done. Yeah, it's some problem with the fact that I launched the game before defining what this was, which is fine. Yeah. Still not working, is it? Okay, what's wrong with this? No, that's a typo, that's why. There we go. Right, so that appears. Okay. Okay, let's get some more boilerplate done. We're gonna have a weather, daily weather type dictionary. That's going to come from assets, settings, daily weather.json. Don't need that. But we do need the weather type picture. So we do that, we get daily weather types. I really don't like the name daily weather type anymore, but there it is. So in this thing, I need to make that work. Daily whatever type, forecast item, this thing. So the actual web type, come on, there we go. Okay, so for the web type, get forecast. So I'm just going to expect these to have a weather type. Okay, so I'm expecting it to have one. If it doesn't have one, I can just throw an exception. I will throw an exception. Otherwise, things are going to go horribly wrong later. Spelling initialize. Well, I do use British English spellings apart from in code normally. It gets mixed up, doesn't it? But like, I'll definitely use colour without the O, without the U rather, because all the libraries have it spelled that way. It would get very confusing doing that, but yeah, I didn't even think about this initialize. So we'll live with that. So it's a bit long. Okay, so that might happen, but if it hasn't happened, then we're all good. Right. As long as it works, indeed. Well, no, there is some good arguments for consistency, which I don't have when it comes to that, or ER and OR on the end of words. Right, that should do. Okay, so on our map environment, it's going to be a remaining amount of time for that weather. Yeah. And then when the weather data. Got this. Another one. The weather manager, and speaking of consistency, I'm trying to avoid the name manager for classes, but it just happens, doesn't it? So stuff happens. Is it worth doing this every frame? I so. Okay, so we know how much time's elapsed. So I guess we take that off time that's remaining. This is a lot of code. And then if that, then what happens? Yeah. I suppose we need to know what the current daily weather is. Or rather, we need to persist this as well. Okay. So when a day changes, we need to change that, but that's not going to happen just yet. Oops. Okay, so this map, environment. It's going to have a daily weather set. And we need to persist that. I'm just going to assume it's always there. Now I just need to add that to that. Here's some test that probably doesn't use it. Well, it doesn't use it yet. What's your problem there? Oh. Couldn't find daily weather type of name. That. Okay. Set current weather. That's initialized. I guess we have to do it here too. This is going to want to change. Okay, so let's assume it doesn't change for now. Okay, so when we say change weather type, what that means is we've got the current current weather. As well now. So yeah, just pick a different one randomly. So you know what, let's just get that forecast. Nope. So if there's only one in there, then we'll just have to get it. Oh, you know what? Put a check-in to say that they can't be empty. It's either one or more, and if it's more, we'll just do, well, selected forecast is null, or selected forecasts weather type is current weather. We'll just pick one. Just run to pick one. So it's somewhere between the minimum duration and the difference between the max and the min. Could just throw a math.abs around that just to make sure that the max is bigger than the min. Or does it matter? Okay, so we've got a new type of weather. Now we have a new duration. So we just set those. Set the current weather to be that. Set the duration. Do we need to change the color? The set weather color. Yeah, I guess we do. Wait. No, we don't. Hang on. That's my thing that changed over time, isn't it? No, it's not changing. Oh, yeah, we changed it directly, don't we? What? That's the one. Yeah, that's all handled already. Okay, so we changed those things somewhere. Right. And then perhaps the really important bit that I'm trying to build towards the whole time is we tell the weather affected data that the weather's changed. For now, that's just gonna... No, it's not. No, it's not. It's gonna be something like this, where for all the current particle effects, it's going to tell them that they can stop on their own terms. Okay. Debugging, I'm just going to print out what the weather time is so we can see what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. So I think I quite like my mouse click to call that instead. Then we'll stop seeing some of the weird side effects that we get right now. Okay, let's see if that works. There is so much I've not tested in all that code. But that's doing something. Probably change that so it's not showing a crazy large number. Maybe I want it to show when it's paused. So this is supposed to be scattered showers, which it isn't. No, I'm showing the wrong thing there, aren't I? Yes. That's not what I want to show. Okay, so we've got 8 hours of perfect weather. But if I click the button, it's raining for an hour and a half. Which isn't very long. When this stops, I'm hoping the rain doesn't just stop abruptly. Nice. It's quite nice. Okay, so I can just hit my mouse to do that too. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think it really had a lot to it when I changed the ambient noise from that bird song to rain as well. Okay, so if just leave this running for a while. I'm fast. Oops, not fast. Let's see how that looks. So it's evening. Then we have rain for a few hours. And it stops. It rains a little bit. It rains more. I think for scattered showers that kind of works. Okay, feels like we're getting somewhere now. Yeah, this does feel like victory. So just have to get the ambience to fade in and out as well. It should be okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the sunlight change. Although it's nighttime right now. So it's going back day. It starts raining. Nice. I feel like this really adds a lot to the feel of the game. I'm going to try and do some really funky stuff with the snow, where I'm going to try to use the normal maps to pick out the tops of everything to show snow on them. That could be quite cool, or difficult, or over ambitious. But we'll get to that. Now at least that's the start. Oops. So the happiness bit should be quite straightforward to do. Okay, let's get that committed. Okay, well I've just gone past 3 hours for this stream, so I think I might call it there. It does feel like quite a high point to leave it on. No, that's not, why is this not used? Anyway, go around to that. So yeah, I'll leave it there. So thank you very much to everybody who followed. I'll definitely be doing a lot more streams on this channel, I believe. Oh, and thank you for following. And yeah, thanks to everybody dropping along. Thanks to people in chat, like Chef Odef here. Really helps to keep me going. It's just nice to have someone to bounce ideas off rather than talking to the dog the whole time. But yeah, I've set this channel up just for basically me as a one-man game dev band to keep the streaming development of this on. So do follow along if you want to see more, see how this goes, because it's basically this for the next 4, 5 or 6 months while we get to Steam now. Okay, I'm not going to figure out who raid you on to anybody else, so I will just leave it there. Okay, and thank you again.